Alright, I'm going to do a quick video on how to do a dewinterization, or basically a tune-up on a Toro zero turn. This one happens to be an SS5000, but the same process is going to be similar for other models as well. The whole process is very easy, very inexpensive. The parts on Amazon, which I'll include the link in the description, costs like 20 bucks, and it has everything that you need. It has your oil filter, has your spark plugs, and it has your fuel filter, and it has your air filter. So I suggest doing that. It's one kit, it all comes in, super easy to do. So what I did, just for the sake of this video, I took the panel off of the side just so it's easier to show you guys the video, but you don't have to do this by any means. It's just an extra step for the purpose of this video. We'll start with a couple things that you're going to need. You're going to need a 13/16 socket, and that's going to take the spark plugs off. So if you come over here, you have two spark plugs, one on each side. What we're going to do is we're going to pop off the spark plug, cover, ratchet slides right in. Go ahead and loosen that up a little bit, and once it's loosened, you can just finger undo that. So that's going to come out like this. The kit, the box that we have, it's going to contain two new spark plugs. You can see that one's pretty dirty. We're going to come over here onto this side. We're going to do this one the same way. It just pulls right off. Slide your ratchet in there, loosen it up. You should be able to go in there and just with your finger do the same thing. And once we have that out, we'll go ahead and put that aside as well. So the box contains the new spark plugs here, part of your kit. So all you have to do is just reverse what we just did. So we'll go ahead and slide these in, find the hole, thread them in, and then once they go all the way in, we'll give them a little bit of a snug with the ratchet to make sure that they're nice and tight. So that's about there. Put the ratchet on, and we'll go ahead and tighten that down. Doesn't have to be super tight, just nice and snug. Once you're done with that, just put your cap back on, and then boom, spark plugs are done. Next thing that we're going to do, just for the sake of this video, it's the exact same thing that we're going to do on the other side, but we're just going to skip it. Next thing we're going to do is going to be the oil change, something that I recommend doing once a year. To do the oil change, the Toro makes it very, very easy. This tube that goes here, this is actually just an open-ended tube for oil changes. You just pop it off of the little nipple here, which is what holds the tube in place. But once you pop it out, you're just going to pull and loosen it. And then you're going to go ahead and just lean it over the side like that. And then the oil is going to go ahead and drain right out into this basket. Now, I already did this process just so we're not waiting 15 minutes for all the oil to change. But once you do that, you'll start seeing the stream of oil come out. Let that go. Do something else for 15-20 minutes, come back. When it's done dripping, you know it's empty, and then you're going to go ahead and just lift it right back up again, pop it right back in, and then go ahead and stick it right back into that little nipple again, and then that's it, you're good to go. The oil change is super easy. Now that we're empty, we're out of oil, we have to add 2.5 quarts of new oil, so that's pretty easy. You're just going to take out your dipstick, use a little funnel here, and then you're going to go ahead and put in the new oil, which for this particular zero turn is just going to be 10W30. So I know there's 2.5 quarts of here, so I'm going to go ahead and pour the whole thing into here. That's going to fill back up my oil again. Once I'm all done, go ahead and put this back on, and then boom, you're done with the oil. So we got 2 of the 4 things done already. Oh, I almost forgot. Before you put the new oil in, when you're all empty, you do need to change your oil filter. So in order to do the oil filter, right down here, this is going to be where your oil filter is located. You're just going to go ahead and turn that counterclockwise. It's just a screw. It's going to come right off. Now I do suggest putting a piece of paper towel or something down here because there might be a little oil that comes out when you take this off. Just makes it for easier cleanup. But once this is unscrewed and taken out, grab it out real quick. Oops. As you can see, the oil's already starting to come out, so I didn't take my own advice before I do this. Alright, so put that in there. This just spins right out. Once it's out, just put it to rest in your oil pan and let the rest of that oil drain on out of there. Okay, now when we come back here, we have the new oil filter. I'm just going to open it up. I do recommend taking a little bit of oil and then make sure that your ring is nice and lubricated before you put it back on. It just prevents it from gluing itself to the lawnmower when you go to take this off next year. Now, very easy, just repeat the process. Put it back in, screw it clockwise until it's nice and tight, and then you are good to go. You can hit that with a oil filter tightener just to give it a little extra oomph if you need to, but as long as it's nice and hard, hand tight, you should be good. Okay, that concludes the oil. Now the only thing that we have left, two things. One, the easier of the two, and this is in your kit. It's going to be the air filter. Air filter, very easy. This little box here actually just lifts right up, and here's the old filter. And then you're just going to go ahead and pop that right off. And this, nothing needs to be done. It comes packaged, ready to go. You just take it out, got the holes, put it right back in the same way the old one came out. Boom, done. So now you have a nice new air filter for the season. So we'll go ahead and close that up. Now the only thing we have left is just a fuel filter, and that is going to be this little guy. Fuel filter is really easy. You'll need a pair of pliers to take it off. I've already pre-loosened this, but when you're doing this after it's been in for a year, sometimes they can get a little tight. I like to take a pair of needle nose. You can use any plier. I like to grab the tube, just give it a little twist and break off so it's not seized. Once you are able to move it side by side, just go ahead and pull it right off, just like so. And then you're going to do the same thing on the bottom. Make sure you go left and right. Once it's broken free, just start wiggling itself out like so. Now, one thing, a tip, don't get distracted and leave this down. Gravity will take over. Once your tube is lower than your gas tank, the gas will start flowing out. So it's good to have this handy and ready to go so that when you take this off, you can go ahead and just stick this right back on again. And then these little clips that are on here, which I took off earlier, these are just compression clips. So they just slide right back into place like so. To take them off, we just did the reverse of that and just loosened them, slid them down out of the way in order to take it off. Oops. Now keep in mind, some fuel filters have a very long nozzle. Oops. There we go. That comes all the way down to about here. So just be aware when you're trying to break that free, make sure you're down far enough from the nozzle. Same thing for the top. We already took this and slid this down, so this is going to be pretty easy. It's just going to slip right in there. I'm going to go ahead and take the compression clip again, and then we're going to just move that right back up again, and good to go. Now we have a new new fuel filter. Okay, now that that's done, that is the last step. So everything is done. We changed the spark plugs, we changed the oil, we changed the oil filter, we changed the air filter, and we changed the fuel filter. From here, I'm just going to put the cover back on that I took off for the purpose of showing this. We'll be able to fire this back up and we'll be good for another season. The only other thing that I would do is take the blades off and sharpen them. That's a good thing to do once a year. But as far as the mechanics of it, 20 bucks at Amazon gives you everything that you need. You just saw me do it. Takes a few minutes and you're good to go for the next season. Hopefully that helps.